Once upon a time, not too long ago, there was a young lady who entered National University of Catamarca, passed all the first year subject on the career Profesorado in Inglés, and with loads of motivation was excitedly waiting for her second academic year to start just by the moment when things happened. 16th of March 2020, and in the middle of a world chaos and revolution because a new coronavirus was spreading around the globe and causing all kind havocs, Argentina decided to declare sanitary emergency. Wait, what? Let's see this.
A partir de las 0 horas de mañana, deberán someterse al aislamiento social preventivo y obligatorio. Nadie puede moverse de su residencia. Todos tienen que quedarse en sus casas.
By then, going out, to gatherings, to work, to school were prohibited. But as the show must go on and life can't get paralyzed forever, what we knew as normal life became virtual. And this is where our video starts. This is Agustina Leiva, and in this opportunity I share with you my experience as regards the use of ICT for academic purposes in this particular virtual pandemic year. Well, to start with, I must say I was rather disappointed when I got to know that we were not returning to face classes this year. Uh, what is more, I think that what motivated us, like students, the most was the fact that there was a little, but there was a shine of hope that we were sometimes returning to classes. It was said that it would have been by the middle of the year or by the end of the year, but this obviously didn't happen. Even though I can characterize myself as a digital resident because of the use of social media I do every day, um, as for everything in my daily life, rather for connecting with my friends, with my family, for uploading, downloading media, for entering and getting to know what is happening in the world every day of my life. As for schooling, I've always been very traditional. My favorite couple have always been pen and paper. For studying, I just need a piece of paper, a pen to handwrite my notes, highlighters to color my notes in order to, in a way, learn. And this is something that working in a Word document instead of a paper sheet in a way blurred. Last but not least, another difficulty I had was with the organization. At first, I felt extremely suffocated because all the teachers, the new teachers which I didn't know, who I didn't know, uh, start sending us messages and homeworks and tasks by all the means possible. We've used Facebook, we've used Classroom, we've used email, WhatsApp, and what you can imagine. So that made us feel kind of suffocated, and that inhibited me to start the course as I was supposed to, and that made me delay some works, and also in consequence that made me feel insufficient with myself because I've always been so responsible that this inhibited me to go on doing my course as I would have wished to. However, I must say I was extremely fortunate in this context. Uh, from the first whole part of the year, I've been having a proper Wi-Fi connection, a mobile phone, an iPad, a laptop that, despite having to share with my whole family, which sometimes make it kind of difficult to organize our schedules to use one singular laptop. Uh, this, in a way, allows me to access education, to learn in a way, differently from other people with who I know that lost their years, that couldn't access a class, couldn't access education because of their lack of these features. As for the tools themselves, well, I must say I've never attended an informatic course. Neither did I have this subject at school, high school, nor primary school, nor never. Uh, um, but I remember since when I was a child, just entering an app or a platform and trying to explore all the features I could do then, um, which I think is part of my digital wisdom I've always owned. And this is has been extremely useful for me now because I didn't know how to use the platforms I used this year. Neither did I know how to use Meet, Classroom, Zoom. I didn't know how to enter the campus or the use of screen recorders or the use of collaborative documents. But this luckily was not difficult for me because I found a way to deal with it. And despite I learned a lot by myself this year as regards technological features, I learned a lot more with my subjects this year, with all my subjects. For example, in one of them, I got to know how to separate little groups, to work in little groups in the same Zoom meeting. In another, I learned how to create and upload YouTube videos. And in this subject in particular, I learned a lot. And I'm really thankful about that because I learned not only about tools and resources and concepts that are useful for now for me as a student and in the future for me as an English teacher, but also about strategies that I could use once I got my degree. We were taught how to catch children's attention in this model of remote learning, for example, with the use of marionettes. And we also learn how to use and apply flipped learning, which makes the class more creative and attractive for children and for all age students. These are things I consider are extremely values for us as future English teachers, especially English teachers, because English teachers are also looking for new strategies to catch their students' attention. So this is extremely valuable for me to use in the future. Up to the moment, I didn't have the opportunity to sit for an online exam, but I had the opportunity to access some courses of non-formal education, but courses in the end that were held in Cordoba, in Buenos Aires, in foreign countries also. What is more, in one subject here in the Profesorado, we were allowed to access a class with a native speaker of the USA. So I think these are positive aspects. These are opportunities we wouldn't be possible to take if we had no access to ICT. So as to conclude, I would like to say that even though it is actually a difficult year for most of us, either for students and for teachers, because I know for teachers had been more than impossible this year because we had to readapt our whole lives, our whole educational system, our whole classrooms to the virtual. Um, I think there are many positive aspects in this and we must rescue them. We have learned and discovered lots of new features as regards ICT and how to implement them in the education, which I think it is crucial for us in the following years because we are living in a digital era and we must readapt from our traditional methods. Um, I am really glad to have the opportunity of going studying this subject in this particular year because it had guided me and motivated me a lot. So I can now thank my teachers for making my learning process richer and my year much better. I really hope you liked this video and that we had the opportunity to meet once again. Thanks for watching.
And that's all, folks.